record-breaking temperatures are on the rise as heat levels surge during a prolonged heat wave scorching the Great Plains. Temperatures have spiked to 115 degrees in Texas and Oklahoma, with more than 60 million Americans anticipated to see triple-digit heat over the next week. Heat advisories and excessive heat warnings will impact up to as many as 105 million people in 28 different states, particularly across the Central Plains in the Northeast, where periods of hot weather and high humidity will be a serious threat. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video / weather update. Today the main topic is going to be the brutal heat wave that has been lingering here in the US lately. In fact, it's estimated that more than 200 million people will be exposed to temperatures exceeding 90 degrees for the next 3 days. Now, what we actually have in place here is a persistent ridge of high pressure seen right here in this region, commonly referred to as a heat dome, which seems to have contributed to the duration of this prolonged, intense heat wave. Now, this high pressure is actually in place leads to sinking air, which reduces cloud cover, and also enhances the amount of abundant sunshine. Now, this high pressure is actually in place here leads to sinking air, which in turn reduces cloud cover and enhances the amount of abundant sunshine. This high can also act as a protective shield, if you will, steering the jet stream more northward, as you can see here, and really redirecting any kind of unpleasant weather, more so into Canada or the Great Lakes region. And while this heat dome looks to shift eastward in the coming days, just is moving eastward more slightly, it doesn't really look to break down anytime soon though, meaning there's no immediate end in sight to the heat. What I mean here is that in this record-breaking heat we're undergoing right now, especially in the Central Plains here, is what we're seeing here across Oklahoma, which is really triple digits all around, as well as Texas too. I mean, there's really no way of escaping it here in the state. In fact, at one point, I believe it was yesterday, all 120 weather stations located across Oklahoma recorded temperatures exceeding 103 degrees. I mean, if we fast forward here, we can even see that it appears that cities like Dallas, Oklahoma City, and Tulsa are very well likely to reach 110 degrees by the end of this week. But as we move further on the timeline here, we can just see that the heat is really not relenting anytime soon, and that multiple more days of this just exceptional heat really lies ahead here with triple-digit highs for the forecast here for really all of North and Central Texas, as well as portions of Oklahoma and Kansas, and even as we move eastward as well, even portions of western, central Missouri, still reaching the triple digits here. Just widespread triple digits here seen. If we go back to today, we can even see that portions of Texas here are already upwards of 100 degrees. See 105, 104 here. Some of the readings on the model here. And it appears that cities like Dallas here is already really some of these cities peaking at 100 up to 107 degrees. Right around the Dallas-Fort Worth area, as well as cities like Austin and San Antonio, really experiencing similar temperatures in the triple digits here. Austin can be looking at, say, 106, 107 today, which is really not anything new these days, considering each day between July 9th and July 13th in Austin is actually tied or either broke a record high. So we're pretty much seeing triple digits here over the past couple of weeks or so. The next natural disaster that the Central Plains is being introduced to here are the extreme wildfires. Drought and fire have both been issues across much of Texas and Oklahoma lately, where red flag warnings continue to be in effect. Now, if we turn to the humidity levels here in the atmosphere, really along and particularly west of I-35, some of these humidity levels are really reaching below 20%. And of course, assembled with winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour. These conditions are really just fueling these fires and allowing them to spread very quickly here. It was even reported that several fires broke out in north central Texas on Monday, including in Somerville County, southwest of Dallas. Now, another wildfire is actually just recently ignited in Somerville County, around Highway 67 and southwest of Glen Rose, as the current photo presents. Now, back to these extreme temperatures here we have placed for us today. We could just see that in cities like in Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Dallas, Wichita Falls, Houston, Austin, and even Little Rock here in Arkansas, highs are forecast to hover within the 100 degree mark quite consistently over the next week, and are really not expected to let up anytime soon as we just move on along here for the next couple of weeks. Still nearly every day reaching highs into the triple digits here. And of course, we move to the humidity levels. If we fast forward here, we do see some plumes of humidity moving in from the Gulf as we get as a southerly flow begins to move in here over the next day or so, which is really going to be helpful in giving us some kind of cloud coverage, even some potential rain or thunderstorm development. Any kind of moisture in the air will definitely help extinguish some of these fires. However, as we continue to fast forward, we can see that it doesn't really last very long as we get more of a westerly flow moving in and bringing a lot of that drier air in from the west. So once again, the fire risk will definitely be present during this time. But yeah, really triple digits every day here for the next week or so. Just especially Texas and Oklahoma and Arkansas as well. Really, these states are going to be the key states we're going to be looking at here as far as just life-threatening heat, especially heat-related illnesses. Definitely going to be a threat here. If we just go back to today here and just fast forward a little bit, say later into this afternoon, we can see that Hey, look at that. The heat also appears to have spread northeastward towards the east coast. That's right. Heat advisories extend from Delaware all the way to parts of interior New York into southern New Hampshire today. With a mixture of this heat and humidity, makes temperatures feel like 95 to 100 degrees. These heat indexes are well into the triple digits at this point. And so you just move a little bit more southwards into Delaware, maybe southern Jersey. We could potentially even see 100 to 105 degrees. As far as actual temperatures right now, we're still seeing temperatures getting into the 90s. I saw 96 there. Out here in central Jersey, say around Trenton, getting close to Philadelphia here, and the more interior sections of the state. Really central Jersey here, we're seeing temperatures almost upwards of 100 into the triple digits here, and that's not even considering the heat index. So this just tells me that the heat index is surely into triple digits at the moment here. Just really just harsh heat waves, even stretching across parts of the Northeast as well. And of course, this isn't just exclusive to New Jersey. We see in Delaware here, temperatures getting into the 90s, even around Maryland, the nation's capital. Really sticking around, really hovering around the 90s here, lower 90s. However, if we just move more northeast here, we can see in the state of Connecticut here, in the more interior section, we can see temperatures, much like we were seeing in New Jersey here, up to 96 degrees. So definitely almost getting close to the triple digits here. In fact, if we even fast forward just a little more to the latter part of this week, this is actually tomorrow here. But you can see much of the same here. I believe 98 degrees here. That appears to be Monmouth County here in New Jersey. And keep in mind, this is the more northern portion of the state of New Jersey. 98 degrees here is one of the readings. Granted, this is just one model. This is a GFS model. It isn't certain, but it is very likely we can see temperatures likely for the latter part of the week up into the upper 90s, getting closer to 100. And of course, heat indexes at that point will be ranging from perhaps 105 to 110 degrees. Definitely something to keep an eye on here. Even as we go into New York, heat advisories are issued here as well. Seeing 80, really mostly in the southeastern portion of New York here, getting closer to New York City. You can see temperatures 96, 95 here, really in the mid 90s. Something that the state of New York isn't really used to. Definitely not the average here in the summer. But really, as we just fast forward into this weekend as well, we can see that the heat still does not relent. I believe this is Saturday we're looking at here. We can see just portions of even Virginia, Maryland, here in eastern Virginia, getting closer to Virginia Beach along the coast, say around the I-95 corridor, triple digits here. Likely to see triple digits up to 100 degrees. Moving across New Jersey, much of the same here, 95, 97, 94. Really hovering around the mid-upper 90s. And of course, with all this humidity we're going to have in place, the heat indexes are going to be very cruel, really just excessive at this point. So really, this weekend, the East Coast is expected to experience some of the hottest weather in years. Now, just to get a little bit more accurate reading, we're also going to move here to the Euro model. We're going to see what kind of temperatures that are offered here. Really much of the same, though. We're just going to move over to this weekend. We're going to see really just the core, just the brunt of all these, really just this heat wave we're going to be experiencing, this intense heat. And it's looking like Saturday here, what we just saw on the GFS. Sorry, this is actually Sunday. Here in Saturday is what we're looking at here. And we're seeing temperatures about right here, 100 degrees. This is southern Jersey here, really in the more interior corridor, reaching triple digits. But of course, even as we move up to New York, we're seeing some temperatures getting even into the interior of New York, moving northwestern here. We can see some temperatures even reaching 90, upper 80s here. But as we move on to Sunday, really no better here. Still not catching a break from the heat in the northeast here. Of course, we have temperatures still in the triple digits in place here in Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, still seeing triple digits, upper 90s, as well as New Jersey. Even if we observe some of the ensembles here, this is actually the GEFS. Getting even more accurate reading here. Although this is a little bit more further out, we can still see here towards this weekend, say Sunday. This is about Sunday afternoon here. We can see really temperatures still reading the same as it did in the GFS and the Euro. Seeing temperatures upwards of 90 degrees, almost reaching triple digits here, especially in New Jersey, Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, all these states here. Really reaching, we see 99 degrees here around Baltimore. Really just along this I-95 corridor, especially stretching southward as well. Seeing states like South Carolina, North Carolina, really all just experiencing this heat wave up to temperatures up to triple digits here. So as you can see here, just from this image, we are truly in the dog days of summer here, especially for the East Coast, the Southeast, the Northeast, really the Central Plains as well, Southern Plains. All of us are really not catching a break from the heat here. I mean, we could just see, 200 million people, as I said before, are going to be exposed to temperatures exceeding 90 degrees, all due to this heat dome we have in place here, as we have all of this upper level ridging in place, as well as this southerly flow. This heat wave is just going to be intense this week. Now, all this heat is actually occurring simultaneously with a historic and unprecedented heat wave in Europe, which has actually claimed over 1,000 lives and ignited wildfires that have prompted 40,000 people to evacuate. In fact, a remarkable 34 weather stations breached the 101.7 degrees benchmark, documenting temperatures unlike Great Britain has ever experienced before. However, this is not all we're dealing with today, as we also have some severe weather that's likely to take place in the Great Lakes. We're actually currently observing a low here. It's actually in place here in Canada, as well as an upper level shortwave seen here that continues to move eastward across the Great Lakes region. Now, the next element that is actually going to be in play today is an associated cold front that drops south into the Ohio Valley here. As you can see, some of these storms that are beginning to make their way across later this afternoon. And we also got to consider the southerly flow that's actually sweeping across the region here. That is also beginning to increase ahead of the front. And of course, what usually comes with the southerly flow is higher humidity, something that the Central Plains desperately need. Here we actually have dew points reaching upwards of 70 degrees here across Ohio. As temperatures actually spike up to 90 degrees. Heat advisory has even been issued here in the southwestern portion of the state from 1 to 8 o'clock this evening for locations where the heat index will really likely reach above 100. So like I said, the southwestern portion of the state of Ohio. Not only this, but if we turn to the Cape values here, another impact from the combined heat and humidity later today will be the increasing instability that could fuel the storm development ahead of the front. By the evening hours, these large values of instability reaching 2,000 to 3,000 joules per kilogram here. These favorable parameters suggest strong organized storms possible, as some of these storms begin to just form ahead of this front later today. While there is still uncertainty regarding the storm coverage and occurrence, the Storm Prediction Center has actually issued a slight risk for the conditional chance of strong storms this evening. See here, even if we look at the synopsis here, we can see that eastern lower Michigan to the Ohio Valley is definitely susceptible to some scattered thunderstorms here. So scattered thunderstorms are likely to develop from midday through this evening near the cold front that's in play. Convection initially should be in the form of supercells and multicells, evolving into a mix of broken continuous lines of convection over time. So definitely something to look out for today. Possibly some very strong storms forming ahead of this front. If I look at the 4 panel, though, we can get an even better understanding of what we're dealing with today. And as far as our greatest risk we're looking at, it really appears to be the wind outlook. Really taking the same shape as the overall slight risk we have in play here for the Storm Prediction Center. So wind is definitely going to be our greatest risk here. If we actually zoom in, see that we do have it's in a 15% zone. And the Storm Prediction Center even describes it as damaging thunderstorm gusts, as well as isolated hail and a tornado or two are actually possible over eastern lower Michigan into the Ohio Valley this evening. So wind is definitely going to be a greatest threat, but it even said a tornado or two are possible, so definitely something to look out for here. Although it is only a 2% chance, still something to be very well aware of here. Mostly in eastern Michigan here, portions of eastern Michigan as well as northern Ohio, even a slight portion of northwestern Pennsylvania here, definitely something to look out for. And of course we have the hail. Hail is also possible as well, taking a greater portion of Ohio, and of course really the same regions here, northwestern, just that very tip of northwestern Pennsylvania as well as eastern Michigan. So definitely severe weather possible today in the Ohio Valley. Of course, even stretching into Kentucky as well. They also have a lot of I noticed on the Cape values here, Kentucky definitely a lot of instability here. Surface-based Cape values this evening are likely to be even upper, nearly almost reaching 4,000 joules per kilogram. Definitely something to watch out for here. Anyway, guys, that's about it for this video. We have a lot in play in the atmosphere today, involving a prolonged, severe heat wave we're dealing with here in the southern plains, as well as the northeast, and really just most of the eastern coast here. And of course, second part of our story here, we can see a different advisory that's in play here, which actually happens to be severe thunderstorm watches all along Michigan, all along the eastern portion of Michigan, as well as northwestern Ohio. We actually even appear to have some severe thunderstorm warnings here as well in portions of Michigan, so some storms are already beginning to fire up, as you can see. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick weather update. I'm going to try beginning to post more, being more consistent, and provide you guys with some more weather content. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you do like this weather content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.